Outright winners, head-to-head matchups, top finishing positions, and Jan and I give you two guys who will probably miss the cut in our one and done segment, which we will go over. Welcome everyone to the Cut Line. I'm your host Andy Lang, being joined as always by my fellow golf betting expert Jan. We'll get to one and done. Those of you that have been following our one and dones, they're just truly laughable how many times we can pick a guy who's playing great and then he just promptly misses the cut when Jan or I are on him. But we got a lot to get to. But as always, we start with Tales from the Courtesy Tent. Now, Tales from the Courtesy Tent is worst shots of the week, and I'm not going over bad shots. I'm going over something that I can't believe somebody did. I'm going over, was it Charlie Hall who gave her caddy a fake lottery ticket?
Yes.
For $100,000 winner and thought this was funny.
In poor taste, I would say.
And it's your caddy. So what's he gonna? He's kind of forced to go along with it. And instead of telling you to F off, that's your boss. I can't believe someone did that. And then I'm like, yeah, actually, I can't believe somebody would do that.
Yes.
Would have just a complete lack of self-awareness. I was stunned when I read that story. I truly stunned.
It's a very modern sports person thing to do, I think. Just be so out of touch with reality to do something like that.
I can't imagine A, doing that to somebody, or B, how mad I would be if somebody did that to me.
Yeah.
Like I can't wrap my head around it. So whatever. Supposedly they kissed and made up, but I'll just tell you right now, he ain't gonna forget that.
No.
That is not something you forget. So that's our Tales from the Courtesy Tent. All right, well, let's go over our course preview. We go to Sedgefield Country Club. We got a shorty here, par 70. I got this measuring just barely 7,100 yards length. Clearly not the key to this one. It just rewards accuracy everywhere. So a lot of guys are probably pulling 3 woods when they would normally pull some drivers. Hot putter. This is a type of course where a hot putter, like anybody, could come out of nowhere. These guys are going to go low. Trees on the fairway. There's some few dog legs. I wouldn't even call them dog legs. They're just slight little bends. Sloping greens that could test the around the green, but not really. I'm just looking at guys with solid irons here. Jan, what's your take on this course?
This is sneakily one of my favourite events of the year because I like trappy little courses, and we certainly have that this week. Firstly, off the tee, like you say, this is a club down golf course. It's not long. It's actually the 3rd shortest course on the PGA Tour, and you have narrow tree-line fairways, and it's really important that you do find those fairways because the missed fairway penalty is there. It's a big accuracy course off the tee. Approach isn't the biggest factor for me this week. It's just a bunch of PGA guys hitting short to mid irons into pretty big greens. No one should be having that much trouble on approach this week, and I don't really see it as a separator for the contenders. Around the green comes into play a little bit for me. You're going to have a lot of shots within 50 yards, and it's not easy by any means. This is actually a top 10 hardest around the green course on tour. I think you want at least a steady around the green player this week. And then the fun begins when you're on the green. These greens are sort of tough. They're quick. Some of the contours are pretty extreme. They're not that easy to manage. You need to be able to control the ball on these greens. You need to have a good short game, and you need to make some tricky putts. So for me, the ideal profile, you want someone who'll find fairways and has the quality short game and green management to avoid mistakes. Big leans to accuracy in every aspect of this, and a short game is probably a must. And then we probably have to talk about the FedEx standings as well, because it's the top 70 in the standings getting into the playoffs next week. And from what I'm seeing, basically everyone from like 60 to 90 is playing this event. So it is going to be a wild Sunday. It doesn't change my handicapping, but for the viewers, you need to decide whether that motivation is a factor for you or not. Whatever happens, this week will matter. And it's always nice to go to a track where guys can't just bomb around. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, you got guys that are right on the cut line. I mean, kind of some bigger name guys. I mean, Jackson Coyven, who's the new thing. He's right on the cut. You got Keegan Bradley, Jason Day, some of these bigger name guys. So should be a really, really fun one. So, all right, let's go to the dreaded one and done. It's our fantasy league where you pick one guy and you get that score for the week. And we're coming up on it because we're in a league with like 27 guys, and like only a few people had guys to make the cut to get any prize money. Jan and I both picked Wyndham Clark. He was nowhere to be found on the weekend. All right, Jan, who are you cursing this week?
Yeah, I've mentally checked out of this, to be honest, so I'm going route one with it this week. I'm going to take Jackson Coyven. And to be fair to Coyven, I do get why he is where he is in this market. He is going to find fairways. His short and mid irons are elite. He's solid around the green. And he has every tool imaginable to handle these greens better than most. In his recent stint on the PGA Tour, he had a baffling miscut of the John Deere, but he's also had a 23rd at the US, 10th at the ISCO, and an outright win at the 3M. And then followed that up with a perfectly respectable 31st last week at the Rocket. He just is playing well right now. He clearly has elite talent. He came 5th in this last year. He ticks every single box for this assignment. I don't think he's a bettable price outright, but I love him top 10 or top 20. So he's a solid play for one and done this week. So I really look forward to him going 6 over in the first round on Thursday.
I'm looking forward to the only guy in the field that has finished top 5 the last 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to him to miss the cut. That's, of course, Hideki Matsuyama. This is his type of course. He's not a bomber anymore, but he can be accurate. You look at some of these stats here. The last 30 days, this guy's second in the field in total strokes gained, and he's third in around the green. The last 30 days, he's been playing excellent golf. Approach has been fantastic. And yeah, you look at his numbers off the tee. That's kind of the ding on him, is he's not that long. Great, no problem. So I will be looking forward to watching Hideki put one in the water or the trees or God knows where to miss the cut. So that should be a lot of fun. You can tell Jan and I are like scarred by this.
It's been a brutal year, man. It really has been a brutal year.
All right, let's go to total strokes gained, and then we'll go to players that can trip you up here. Yeah, we'll take a look here. I'll zoom in a little bit so we can see him a little bit back. Cameron Young way out in front. Hideki a little bit behind him. These are the last 30 days. I'll pull this out for last 3 months. That way we can look at some ones. So around the green, believe it or not, Jason Day is number 1. Justin Thomas is number 2. Mackenzie Hughes, Matsuyama, Chandler Phillips, Matt Kuchar, Harry Hall. So those are some guys around the green. If you're looking at just total strokes gained, Cameron Young, Aaron Rye really struck me. He's not playing that great right now. Justin Thomas, Alex Fitzpatrick, he's another guy that's not playing really well right now. Coyven, Gerard, Ben Griffin, anything jump out to you?
No, I just need accuracy and then green bars in approach around the green and putting. So it's Ben Coles, Aaron Rai, Emiliano Grillo, a surprise name for me. Ben James, Doug Gim, Justin Thomas, also quite a surprising name because I'm not sure he's played that well recently. And then Jackson Coyven. I think those guys just sort of jumped off the page at me. I think strokes gain doesn't really rule out any of the obvious names this week. So we will see if that's a good thing or not.
All right. Well, you're probably going to disagree with a couple guys I have on players that can trip you up, but this is a tough one this week. I'm trying to look at guys that are priced higher in the market and trying to tell you to be careful with them. So I'll start with Ben Griffin. 2 bad performances the last 2 tournaments, miscut and 59th. Accuracy off the tee has been the problem, and I think that could be a red flag this week. Putting it around the green has been really struggling recently. He has really good course history here. I think that's going to be the pushback, but the recent form, and I mean very recent form, last couple tournaments, doesn't match with him being priced as a top 7 golfer this week. So Ben Griffin, my first guy. I'm going to put Aaron Rai in this category. This is a tough one here. He's finished with a win in 5th the last 2 years here. So I'm playing with fire for course history, but he's just been awful recently. Minus 1.11 putting the last 2 tournaments. That is not going to work when you probably got to get to minus 20 or lower to try and compete here. The 12th favorite, just in my opinion, has got to be putting a little bit better. We see putters come and go all the time, but I don't know. Aaron Rai's putting's not leaving a lot to be desired. I just have to bring this up. What are we doing with Brooks Koepka priced as a top 12 guy in this field in the outright markets? Who's betting on this guy? He's got an injury. It's a finger or a wrist. He's 28th the last tournament. Before that, miscut, withdraw. Like the last 3 months, the short game is way below average. The irons have not improved. The accuracy off the tee hasn't been that good. And when you see a guy that's really good tee to green and all of a sudden that goes away, it screams wrist injury. So Brooks Koepka is an absolute fade. And the books do this, Jan, and I'm on to you guys. They take these big name guys that are hurt and not playing well, and they put them higher up on the leaderboard. So people are like, "Oh, Brooks Koepka, yeah, I know him." But then what they won't do is give you a decent head-to-head matchup where you can fade him with a guy on him. So anytime you see that situation, you know the books are just trying to bait the casual into betting outright on a Brooks Koepka. So Ben Griffin, Aaron Rai, Brooks Koepka, 3 players that I think can trip you up. And by the way, the books used to mess this up all the time. Like 10 years ago, you could get a hurt golfer in a matchup, and they've wised up to that one. So, all right, we move to top 10 or missed cut. Mine last week, Jan, was Michael Thorbjornsen. He clearly was a top 10. Congratulations. Who'd you land on for top 10 or missed cut?
I am taking Maverick McNeely. I'm a big fan of Mav. I'm just not sure he brings it all together here. He's a very attacking guy, and this isn't an attacking track in the traditional sense, and that mentality and play style really could go either way. He is one of the best around the green players and one of the best putters in the field, but the biggest concern for me would be finding fairways. He's had some very wayward showings, and it's just part of who he is as a golfer these days, honestly. He's not really a guy that ever misses the cut or has top 10 finishes, but I do think this course will bring out an extreme in this sort of player. He's had a miscut and a 45th place finish in his 2 visits here, which obviously helps the miscut argument. But if he gets to use the around the green and putting side of his game, he can win this. If he's missing fairways early, he misses the cut. It really is that simple for me. Maverick McNeely is talented enough to win this event, but I'm not sure he will love this layout. I don't know what you get from Mav here, making him my miscut or top 10.
I'm going to go with Michael Kim, 10th and 8th the last 2 weeks, miscut the previous 3 weeks. The last 3 years here, 62nd, withdraw, and 5th. What's hilarious about him is when you go look at his total strokes gained, he's just kind of like right in the middle, but it's because he has these really high highs and these like really low lows. And so his average just comes in the middle, but he's completely unpredictable. You don't know how he's going to play. I was looking up his total strokes gained. I was like, man, if you don't look at his finishes, you just look at his stats, you're like, oh, he's playing pretty good. No, this guy could blow up or he could be a contender. So he's going to be my top 10 or missed cut. I didn't have any head-to-heads last week. Couldn't find any I liked enough to bring up. Did you find any this week?
I really struggled with the matchups this week. All the guys I like are against each other, but I did manage to find one. And keeping the theme of having the ugliest head-to-heads on the board, give me Blades Brown over Jordan Spieth. Now, Blades Brown keeps switching from the PGA to the Corn Ferry, but he's just cashing top 20s on both tours at a ridiculous rate. It's now 9 top 20s from his last 11 events in both codes, which is stupidly impressive. He is a pretty complete player at the age of 19. Like, he's good off the tee, he's good on approach and an okay putter. Around the green would be a concern this week, but I'm willing to overlook it given the opposition in this matchup isn't that good around the green either. His attitude is questionable, to say the least, but I think it's a positive in head-to-heads because he is so fearless. He will just play his game every single time, and you know what you're going to get. He is just one to keep on side for the next 30 years, honestly. And on the other side, Jordan Spieth is a fade for me right now. He hasn't played great golf for a while, and this feels like a big prep week spot for the playoffs coming up for him, if anything. He came second here in 2013, which is totally irrelevant. And his last 3 showings at this venue, he's gone 31st, miscut, and 72nd. And his last 6 events this year, 2 miscuts, and his best result in the other 4 events is a 31st place last week at the Rocket. For this assignment, Spieth just isn't accurate, and he isn't a great putter. He's marginally the better around the green guy, but I don't think that's enough to make him favourite in this matchup. I just see multiple ways in which Spieth just finds absolutely nothing this week. And I think you have to take the cocky little upstart in Blades Brown against a seasoned pro in Jordan Spieth, who I just don't think cares about this week and whose game is fading anyway.
Yeah, I would agree. He's I'm looking at right now, 55th in points. So it would take a lot for him to not miss,
Yeah.
So the motivation probably not there. Sometimes when the books are telling you something, maybe we should just listen. Brooks Koepka is matched up against Bud Cauley.
Oh, I quite like Bud this week.
And Bud Cauley is minus 150. That's the books telling you everything you need to know. Minus 1.5 strokes is minus 110. I kind of like the money line. Cauley missed the cut 2 years in a row. He's just up and down, 18th missed cut, 14th, 56th win. But the last 3 months, you average it out. Cauley's been better, total strokes gain. I ain't betting on Brooks. Brooks is outside right now, and he needs to basically like win to advance, and I don't see it coming. He gets off to a slow start. Look for that guy to pack it up. And so yeah, when I saw Bud Cauley minus 50, I was like, oh come on. And I was like, oh yeah, this is the book. This is the books literally telling us who to bet. So you don't even need to handicap it. All right, top finishers. I was really mad I didn't include this for client plays. We had Hideki Matsuyama top 20, including ties at plus 138. Ugh, gross. I'll go first. I'll take chalk. Even money on Cam Young, top 10, including ties. It's a weak field. 8th and 2nd his last 2 tournaments. He won here last year, so he's gonna. I don't think he throws in the towel on this one. This is a try and defend your title type of situation. He's playing good. The last thing a guy like him wants to do is play terrible going into the playoffs. So I think Cam Young is up near the leaderboard. This field just there's not a lot of guys that can push him. So I'll take Cam Young. Which one did you find?
My first one is a fun one. It's the pride of Yorkshire's brother, Alex Fitzpatrick, top 30, including ties at plus 100. He just does everything you want here. He's going to find fairways repeatedly. He's going to find greens. He has a very solid short game. He's not one that has very silly mistakes in him. He just has enough natural class to go really well at a course like this, and it just plays to his strengths. He has 7 top 30s from his 10 PGA events, and the 3 where he didn't cash were the PGA, the Open, and the Scottish Open. Absolutely no shame in any of those. He's not had any issues adapting to the American courses, and I can't see a single reason why that changes now. He didn't play in the 3M or the Rocket, which I think is to his benefit this week. My only concern with him would be that he's treating this as a prep week for the playoffs, but the course fit's just too good to ignore. If Fitzpatrick takes to this course, I think he contends. I think top 30 is a really safe way to play him this week, and it's a very playable price.
Yeah, I'm looking up, see where he's at in the points.
It's like
he's well within. Yeah, absolutely. He's cruising. So all those points from that Zurich Classic win.
Yep.
Wild that those count. I would like to talk to you about Davis Thompson, and we got some incredible prices. He's 2-1, plus 200, top 20, including ties, or you can just go to top 40 at minus 124. The guy's 8th and 7th the last 2 weeks, 11th, 12th, 22nd here the last 3 years. The last 30 days, 7th in the field in total strokes gained. His only weakness has been around the green. Tee to green has been great. Putting has been just fine. So I'm stunned that Davis Thompson is this top 40 at minus 124 might be just the safer way to go. I'd love to get the plus money at 2-1, but I also want to play a little safe. So Davis Thompson is my second one. You got another one?
I do indeed. My second one is Jackson Suba, top 40, including the ties at plus 115. Now, he was my one and done pick 2 weeks ago, and he was awful. But I still think he's one to keep on side, and he is a player that has everything you want for this course. He's accurate in multiple aspects of the game. He's a really good tee to green guy. His iron play is a big part of his game. He's okay around the green, and his putting is fine. He's had 3 top 40s in his last 5 events, and that includes a really good 28th place at the Open and a 6th at the John Deere. And it's now 6 top 40s in his last 10 events. He's just a very profitable top 40 guy. Now, he's 82nd in the FedEx standing. So if you believe in these guys who need a good showing and they are going to turn up this week, he ticks that box too. And for me, Super is just always undervalued. There is no reason why he can't really go well here and post a top 20 finish. But I think Jackson Suba's absolute floor at this event is a top 40 finish, and we're getting decent plus money on it. So that one has to be taken.
We'll move to our pick for the outright winner. I think if Cam Young is going to be tough to not play, but it's such a short price. But if you're not betting Cam Young, I think there's some really good nominees deeper down for somewhat of a long shot here. I landed on Mac Meisner at 50-1, second and 12th the last 2 years here, ninth in the field in total strokes gained the last 30 days. So I get a guy with good course history and just red hot right now. If he gets a putter going, who knows? Maybe some of the bigger name guys fall, don't really care if they're out of it. So 50-1 is kind of the range I'm looking at to try and pick an outright winner here. I think those are the best values. What'd you find?
Yeah, it's 2 again for me this week. And firstly, my outsider, and apologies in advance, it is Nico Echeverria at 125-1. I don't think that I'm raring with Nico this week. I don't think there is anyone on earth that has a better read on Nico than me. His season has been exactly what I knew it would be. 1 outright win, a 6th place finish, and an 8th place finish, and then a whole load of mediocrity. But he has been a very profitable guy for me. You just have to know when to play him. And this is a week where you play him. He's going to find fairways and have a go with his irons, and that is what Nico's game is. And his short game is good enough to have a real crack at it this week. I think if he finds a bit of success on these greens, he has a real chance. He's come 19th and 22nd in his last 2 visits here. You have to like Nico Echeverria top 20 at a very big price, but I think if he can bring it all together, you have a real go at the outright win this week. At 125-1 is just dumb for a price for a guy like Nico when he's ticking boxes. And then finally, I'm going with Doug Ghim at 50-1. I'm fully on board the Doug Ghim train right now. He's had 5 top 20s in his last 9 events, being very profitable in that stretch. He's going to find every fairway, and he's going to be very good on approach. His short game's solid. I worry about him making putts, but that's just part of the Doug Ghim experience. He's only 30. He's getting better and more comfortable with PGA settings. I think his first PGA win isn't far away. It could easily be this week. If you just overlook course history, you have a guy with a great fit for this assignment. He's just someone on my list that I think is going to have a huge 2027 and beyond. He's definitely one to keep on side. I think Doug Ghim has every chance of competing here, and 50-1 is just too big not to take.
All right, we move to DraftKings Darlings. Before we get there, please hit the like button and drop us a comment. Tell us who you like this week. We got a lot of really good specials up at WagerTalk. We're coming down to the end of the buy 3 days, get 3 days for free special. It's been really popular. We've left it up for a while, but if you're interested in a 6-day pass, it's half price. It's only $69. So get you every single play. Even 5% plays. We have a 5% up on Saturday in UFC, coming off 7 straight UFC winners. So happy with that. A lot of other sports to take advantage of. And we've also got our end of the year specials, $7.99. Get you all plays through the end of the year, almost 50% discount off. So if you're interested in racking us up for the entire rest of the season, football is right around the corner, as well as NBA, NHL, as well as all the other sports that we handicap. All right, DraftKings Darlings. I had 2 guys miss the cut, so I just barely didn't cash in the tournament. So some people may have won on it because the other 4 guys did pretty good. That was one of those we were right in the middle. One of the stars of DFS recently has been Emiliano Grillo. I think you mentioned him earlier. He just great DraftKings Darling. Top 31 finishes the last 5 tournaments. He's made the cut the last 2 years here. Last 2 months, 4th in the field in total strokes gained in this field. So a lot to like from Emiliano. Chris Kirk performed well last week. He's kind of a horse for the course type of guy. He's got some tournaments that he likes way more than others, and that's where he racks up a lot of points. Like Tiger Woods. What? Who said that? Chris Kirk is 74. Just saying, he did a lot of damage on a few courses.
I don't disagree.
Chris Kirk at 7,400. Despite the recent form, we get to a course that he loves, and he played really good. Well, he finished 5th here last year. 2 solid finishes in a row the last 2 weeks. Good course history here. I'll take Chris Kirk. And then you mentioned Ben Coles. I'll throw him in there at 7,700. 6 straight made cuts on the PGA Tour. All of them top 30 finishes. That's what we're looking for in a DraftKings Darling. Like Emiliano Grillo, last 2 months, he's been fantastic. 7th in the field in that time span. So we're going to go with Emiliano Grillo, Chris Kirk, and Ben Coles. And if you want my full DraftKings lineup, that will be on the free article that's posted on the news section of WagerTalk. Just go to the top right corner of WagerTalk.com, click on news, and you'll see a bunch of articles there. I do articles every week for UFC, auto racing, golf, and more. Thanks for joining us, guys. playoffs are almost here, guys, in golf. So buckle up. We got 3 strong weeks of shows coming up. Make sure you join us next week. We'll get you ready for the top 70 in the world, and we'll narrow it down from there. Thanks for joining us. Good luck on your bets. We'll see everyone next week. Take care.